setups for this value. So one of them, it could be personal value, like spiritual, let's say, through the feelings and so on. So kind of pure. And another one is, I would say, constructed, by the market and the powers and so on. But this is nothing super mysterious question for you. This question is not so mysterious. The art market and so on works a little bit similar, I would say, like other things in the world. Mm-hmm. So, and the values comes the same. And then we have this, we have to fit somehow in it. Mm-hmm. But this fitting moment for artists also doesn't mean anything in a way. So mostly we don't try to fit even into some frames. Mm-hmm. And then this value, maybe this is a question like how it's so shifting between some spiritual and then this commercial side of and what is a value for you? When I would put the question, is it commercial side of the money amount of the art piece or the value of the artwork itself? What is the question then? It contains a lot of different things in it.
Yeah.
It's not just only about the value, and maybe it can be decision of artist that he makes anti-value. And then that's even more interesting perspective, this anti-value maybe. Maybe I answered it. But I think the nicest value is a pure value, I say, from the heart of a person, when you don't need to tell any story behind, you don't need to tell the name behind, you don't need, so there is also these not set values. This is what we do, in the art schools or art academies. So we kind of learning the details of the artwork, which is already, let's say, proved through years, and we having this value inside, let's say. Mm-hmm. And if we construct through that model, we can sense it, how it comes up, this value. And after all, the artist can create new models of his own value, let's say, I don't know, sounds a bit strange, but so then he can construct with knowledge already that some things are working, and then how it can come out of him. Mm-hmm. And this is where studies brings also. You go to a museum, let's say, and watching Rembrandt or whatever, and then you analyze, and somehow you find maybe some, this value hooks, what is hooking you as a value, but we can discuss about it in a while. Mm-hmm.
Mes norim apie kažką diskutuoti, mes turime įvardinti sąvokas ir išsiaiškinti, kas yra menas. Tai per visą savo gyvenimą man niekas į klausimą neatsakė. Tai menas yra tai, kas įsimena, tai, kas susiję su mintimi. Ir dar labai būtina sąvoka, ne sąvoka, o meno dalis yra tam tikra savybė, kuri lieka neišsakyta. Aš asmeniškai meno vertinu ašaromis. Tas sindromas, jisai turi savo netgi mokslinį pavadinimą. Jeigu aš apsiverkiu prie kūrinio, Tai vadinasi yra menas. Aišku, tai buvo mano gyvenime ne taip daug kartų, bet tai yra tas dalykas, kurį aš visada ieškau. Meno kūriny. Na, uždaug tiek apie vertę. Kaip tai vertinti pinigais? Aš nežinau, čia turbūt yra ne menininko reikalas vertinti pinigais. Tai visada yra labai sudėtinga, sunku, nes, bent jau turbūt visiems skirtingai, bet man, tarkim, gaila skirtis su darbais, kuriuos aš investuoju. Jie kaip savo vaiką parduoti, kiek tu gali už tai paprašyti. Gal to aš be ArtValue užsidirbti kitais būdais, o ne tiesiog išlaikyti tam tikrą plius minus laisvę, kurią aš galiu sau leisti. Ir daryti tai, kas man atrodo tinkama. Patenka į muziejus, vertinami kažkokie esminiai pareiškimai, tokie, kurie daro pokytį. Tarkim, vaizduojamojo meno raidai, tokie kaip Valėvičiaus kvadratas ar Dušano klozetas, pisuaras, fontanas. Tai yra dalykai, kuriuos gali vertinti tik profesionalai. Nes paprasti žmonės, taip vadinami paprasti žmonės, kurie su to nesusiję, jie niekaip negali suprasti tų dalykų, kodėl tai yra vertinga. Ir kas čia tokio padaryta. Iš tikrųjų padaryta tam tikra pastanga, kuri pakeitė pasaulėžiūrą.
I think that some of the ArtValue has to do with the story of the artist, because if the story of the artist is pretty amazing and it's worthwhile listening to and hearing about it, then the ArtValue goes way up more. But it also depends on the experience of the artist, on the quality of the art made, based on materials used, time spent, maybe even fantasy skills required. Like painting realism, like surrealism, so you got to use your fantasy, So, but basically I think some of the art ends up in galleries because of the art connections the artist has with the other galleries and other artists. So it's important to have good connections to sell your art more valuably. Contemporary art is very important nowadays because the human species are evolving really, really fast, and the technologies are really, really fast evolving. So I think that contemporary art and maybe even abstract art or expressive art or some art that some people don't quite get it at first, it's a good way to express people to move forward, to keep moving forward. I value my art basically through the feeling it gets me when I make it. So if I know that I'm gonna make a masterpiece right on when I start it, I know that I'm gonna make it. So I value it through my emotions, through time, through materials, through fantasy skills, and basically you have to have an idea or don't have an idea, but if you don't have an idea, you need to do it as much impact visually as possible in a good way. But if it has an idea and it's done with really good materials and really fine style, appreciated style that you spend a lot of hours working, then the price goes up. Yeah. For the feeling it gets you, you know. So it's not always about making masterpieces and making like the best art possible, but it's basically about expressing yourself. And then when you spend years doing it, you found that you can make really good pieces. And you know, like when you have connections, when you make good pieces, you end up being a guy with a great story of your life. You know, like something to tell your grandchildren or something like that. You know, so the price goes up, and it's art is good. Art is for me almost everything in my life. But at the same time, it's almost nothing because it's just art, you know. But at the same time, it's art, so it really depends on your point of view, you know.
Ko gero, ieškau kažkokios transcendentinės dimensijos. Kaip galima įvertinti transcendentinę dimensiją? Niekaip. Aš turiu tokį jutiklį, kuris verčia mane verkti. Žiūrint kokią nors Morandžio 2 potėpiais nutapytą natūrmortą, kuris virsta kosminės didybės paslaptimi.